My mother-in-law slapped my newborn daughter so hard she stopped breathing, and then blamed me. That's the nightmare I endured, a shadow that still lingers as I watch Sophie, now 15, shine in our home in Portland's Alberta Arts District. I'm Rachel, 43, a single mom who's built a sanctuary in this eclectic Portland neighborhood, far from the chaos of a decade ago. At 29, I was a tax accountant in downtown Portland, thrilled to start a life with my husband Nathan in Selwood. Sophie's now chasing a spot at a top middle school, her drive reflecting the strength we forged through those dark days. 10 years ago, I thought marriage would bring calm, maybe joy. Instead, it plunged me into a battle that defined me as a mother. Nathan, 31 when we married, was charming, working with me in Portland's financial district. He lived with his widowed mother, Margot, in Gresham, but swore we'd have our own apartment in Selwood. She wants her own life, he said. I envisioned quiet evenings together. That dream faded fast. Margot's presence invaded our Portland home, her visits turning our haven into a war zone. What began as friendly drop-ins became daily intrusions, teaching me some boundaries are worth fighting for. Looking back from Alberta Arts, I see my naivety, thinking I could please everyone. Every tear, every stand shaped the life Sophie and I have now. This is a story of betrayal, resilience, and a mother's fierce love, one I'm ready to share from our corner of Portland. Our Selwood apartment in Portland was a dream at first, Nathan and I flipping pancakes, clinking glasses of local stout on our balcony. I was 29, loving my tax job downtown. Nathan, 31, was my anchor. But Margot had other plans. It started with a barbecue she pushed for at our place. I've got ribs from Gresham Market, she said, warm but insistent. Grab some craft beer, Rachel, let's make it fun. Her enthusiasm was hard to dodge. That night, she tore through ribs, drank 5 beers, and crashed on our couch. Her snores rattled the windows. I chalked it up to a quirky family night. I was wrong. Soon Margot was calling from Gresham every day, always with a reason. Rachel, you cooking? She'd ask as I chopped onions in Selwood. If I said yes, she'd say, great, I'm starving. I'll pop by. I'd hint I was only making enough for 2, but she'd laugh. I don't eat much, share a bit. She'd arrive, devour my casserole, and stay past midnight, leaving beer cans everywhere. Nathan downplayed it. She's excited to know you, he said when I begged him to step in. Isn't that nice? I reminded him Margot promised to stay in Gresham, but his I'll handle it was empty. Her visits got bolder. Once she barged in while I was in pajamas, saying she missed Nathan. My patience frayed, but I clung to hope that kindness could keep peace. Deep down, I knew our Selwood home was slipping away, my Portland dream fading under Margot's relentless intrusions. One evening, as her name lit up my phone from Gresham, I snapped. Rachel, what's for dinner? She asked, expectant. I tried a new tactic. Actually, Mom, Nathan and I were thinking we'd come to your place in Gresham tonight, I said, forcing cheer. Silence. That's no good, she stammered. I can't whip up anything special. I pushed. We don't mind, we'd love your cooking. Her voice turned sharp. You're asking me to cook? That's not fair. I held firm. Please don't come to Selwood tonight, Mom. We need space. My heart raced as I hung up, half expecting her to show up. She didn't. For days, her calls stopped, and I felt a spark of triumph. Nathan noticed but seemed uneasy. You sure that was the right call? He asked, shifting uncomfortably. She promised us privacy, I reminded him. You said you'd talk to her. He mumbled, yeah, okay. But nothing changed. A week later, Margot was back in Selwood. Though she knocked first, I stood my ground. Mom, we agreed to keep some distance. Let's stick to that. She huffed, but left. It wasn't perfect, but it was progress. Pride swelled. I defended our Portland home, even if it meant tension. Yet I sensed Margot's retreat was temporary, like a storm brewing. A pregnancy test brought joy and nerves. I was expecting. By my 8th month, I planned to stay at my parents' home in Portland's Laurelhurst neighborhood, craving my mom's support. Nathan agreed, though he seemed distracted. At 39 weeks, I gave birth to Sophie at Providence Portland Medical Center, her tiny face stealing my heart. But Margot burst into my hospital room the next day, waving a list from Gresham. "I've got baby names," she announced proudly. "Mom, we've picked Sophie," I said gently, hoping she'd back off. She frowned. "Without asking me? She's my granddaughter." Nathan nearby wavered but said, "Mom, it's our choice." Margot pressed. "You can still change it, I'll handle the paperwork." My mom, calm but firm, stepped in. "Sophie's their daughter, not yours." Margot glared and stormed out. A week later, as I prepared to recover in Laurelhurst, Nathan and Margot arrived at Providence to drive me to Selwood. "Everything's ready for Sophie," Margot said, her smile forced. "I'm staying at Mom's in Laurelhurst," I replied, surprised. She scoffed. "Is Laurelhurst best for Sophie? Nathan's waiting at home." My mom intervened. "I'm here to help, they're fine." Margot snapped, "Hurry up, Rachel. I'm not leaving." Nathan added, "I want you home, but Mom will help." Against my gut, I went to Selwood to avoid conflict, hoping Margot's help would ease my load. Deep down, I feared I'd open the door to more chaos. But Sophie's soft coos gave me strength to face whatever came next. In our Selwood apartment, I was a sleep-deprived mess, balancing Sophie's feedings and my recovery. Margot's help from Gresham was chaos. She'd show up daily, cooing, "Grandma's here for Sophie," but caused havoc. She'd grab Sophie from her crib midnap, sparking cries, then hand her back saying, "She's fussy today." I'd beg, "Mom, let her sleep." But she'd dismiss me. Babies need love, not schedules. She'd eat my carefully cooked dinners, leave dishes piled, and refuse chores. "I'm here for Sophie, not housework," she'd say, sipping beer. I asked for grocery runs to Selwood Market, but she'd laugh. "Trying to keep Sophie to yourself." Nathan was no help, home late from downtown Portland. He'd smile at Sophie, say, "She's adorable," and dodge tasks. When I asked him to wash bottles, he'd leave them half done, muttering, "I'm tired too." I was drowning. One night I pleaded, "Nathan, tell your mom to back off, she's making this harder." He sighed. "She's just excited. Give her a break." My frustration boiled. Nobody listened. Sophie's cries felt like my own, a plea for peace. I tried Margot again. "If you're here to help, maybe cook. I'm exhausted." She smirked. "You handle chores. I'll handle Sophie." When I said Sophie needed calm, Margot snapped, "You're too strict, no wonder she's cranky." I felt trapped in our Selwood moorland home. But Sophie's trusting eyes, her tiny hand in mine, kept me fighting. I wasn't just surviving, I was protecting her, determined to shield our Portland life from Margot's storm blowing in from Gresham. One morning in Selwood moorland, I was beyond exhausted. Nathan offered a rare break. "I'll watch Sophie. Mom's coming from Gresham, we'll manage," he said. I collapsed into bed, grateful. An hour later, Sophie's piercing cries woke me, not her usual fuss, but pure distress. I rushed to her nursery, heart pounding. Nathan was gone. Margot stood by the crib, scowling as Sophie wailed. "Where's Nathan?" I demanded. "He left. Friend called," she muttered. "And you're doing nothing." I snapped, checking Sophie's diaper. It was soaked. As I changed her, she calmed, nestling into me. Margot reached out. "Give her to me. She's fine." I hesitated, but Sophie whimpered. Margot's face twisted. "Why is she always crying? Her night screams are annoying." In a flash of rage, she slapped Sophie's head. Hard. Sophie's cries stopped. Her body went limp, arms dangling. Horror choked me. "What are you doing?" I screamed, snatching Sophie. "You'll kill her." Margot sneered. "She's quiet now." Sophie's chest barely moved. Hands shaking, I dialed 911. My baby's barely breathing. She was hit. I sobbed. Margot froze, her defiance crumbling. Medics rushed Sophie to Providence Portland Medical Center. I clung to her, praying. At the ER, Margot lied to a nurse. She fell from the crib. I shouted, "You hit her." The doctor's voice was grave, mild shaken baby syndrome. From a strike, not a fall. My world spun. But Sophie was everything. I held her hand, willing her to fight. As Margot's lies unraveled in Providence's sterile halls, our Portland nightmare peaked. Sophie stabilized, sleeping soundly. But the doctor's words echoed, shaken baby syndrome is from violent impact, not falls. Margot, cornered, stammered. I didn't mean it. I was livid but focused on Sophie. Police arrived, faces stern. We need to talk about the assault, one said. Margot pointed at me. She's mistaken. My heart sank. She was framing me. I went to the Portland police station, leaving Sophie with nurses. I spilled everything. Margot's chaos from Gresham, her slap in Selwood Moorland, Sophie's collapse. The officer nodded. We'll speak to her. Back at our apartment, Nathan waited, eyes cold. Mom says you hit Sophie, he accused. How could you? I trembled. She's lying, Nathan. She hurt our daughter. He scoffed. Yeah? You were arrested. I explained the police were after Margot, but he wouldn't listen. Margot's voice cut through, icy. You're not welcome here. I clenched my fists. The truth's coming, and I'm staying. The doorbell rang. Police. They sat us down in Selwood Moorland. Margot fidgeted. Your stories don't match, an officer said. Margot repeated her lie, but her details faltered. Her voice cracked. She sobbed. When asked, did you harm Sophie? She went silent. I faced her, voice steady. If you come near us, I'll sue for assault. She begged, not that. Officers led her away. Nathan, shaken, mumbled, I didn't know. I snapped. You believed her over me. The betrayal stung. But Sophie's safety anchored me. In Selwood Moorland, I knew the next steps would be tough, but I was ready to fight for our Portland future. Nathan's apology in our apartment was too late. I messed up, he said, head bowed. I didn't think Mom could do that. My resolve hardened. You thought I could. I shot back. You failed Sophie and me. He pleaded, no divorce. We can fix this. But I was done. You're not the husband or father we need. Leave. His face fell. But I focused on Sophie. I hired a Portland lawyer, filed for divorce and charged Margot with assault. In court downtown, Margot's tears didn't sway the judge, who fined her and barred all contact. Nathan fought the divorce, promising change. But his distrust was unforgivable. The judge granted me full custody, child support, and alimony, securing our future. I moved us to a cozy apartment in Portland's Alberta Arts District, painting Sophie's room blue, her favorite. Nights were hard. Sophie's cries echoed old fears. But I soothed her, whispering, we're safe now. Margot's shadow faded. I resumed freelance accounting, my Portland clients praising my strength. My mom from Laurelhurst brought casseroles and support. You're a warrior, Rachel, she said. Each step, signing divorce papers, decorating our Alberta Arts home, felt like freedom. Sophie's first giggle, her wobbly steps were my victory. I wasn't just escaping, I was building a life in Portland filled with love. The scars remained, but they proved our survival. In Alberta Arts, with its quirky cafes and kind neighbors, I saw a new path for Sophie and me, far from the chaos of Selwood Moorland and Gresham. A Portland home where we could thrive. Our Alberta Arts apartment became our sanctuary. Sophie's laughter filled our space, her toys strewn across our cozy living room. By her first birthday, she was toddling through Alberta's vibrant streets, chasing butterflies as I smiled. I embraced motherhood, joined a Portland moms group where I found friends who cheered my resilience. Freelance accounting kept me busy, my laptop glowing late into the night. My mom visited from Laurelhurst with pot pies and wisdom. You've built a true home, she said, watching Sophie play. Margot stayed away, bound by the Portland court. Nathan's supervised visits in a downtown park were brief, focused on Sophie. I didn't trust him, but I allowed it, hoping he'd step up. He rarely did. It hurt, but Sophie's milestones, her first mama, her little twirls to music, healed me. I started journaling in Alberta Arts, writing about our Selwood Moorland ordeal. It showed my strength. I wasn't a victim, I was a fighter who saved Sophie. Our nights were simple, tacos in Alberta Arts, bedtime stories, Sophie's head on my shoulder. Those moments were sacred. Proof we'd won. I began dreaming again, maybe starting a small accounting firm. A trip to the coast with Sophie. The future sparkled in Alberta Arts, with its murals and coffee shops. Sophie and I weren't just surviving, we were thriving. Every smile from her, every step, was worth the fight. Portland's heart, from Laurelhurst to Alberta, held us close. And I knew, we'd built an unbreakable life, rooted in love. Today, Sophie's 15. A driven teen eyeing a top Portland high school. Our Alberta Arts District home is alive with her art and laughter. Looking back on that nightmare in Selwood Moorland, Margot's betrayal from Gresham, Nathan's failure, it forged me into the mom I am. I fought for Sophie at Providence Portland Medical Center and beyond. My proudest triumph. The scars linger, but they're badges of survival. Reminders of the life we built in Alberta Arts. I share this from our Portland home, not for pity, but to show a mother's love can endure anything. Sophie's confidence, her joy, proves we prevailed. To anyone facing their own storm, you're stronger than you think. The life you want is worth fighting for. I'm grateful for every moment, even the painful ones in Selwood Moorland, because they led us to Alberta Arts. To you, my audience, thank you for hearing our Portland story. Your support means the world to me and Sophie. If this moved you, please subscribe to my channel. We're sharing more stories of grit and hope from Portland, and I'd love for you to join us. Hit that button, leave a comment, and let's grow this community. Here's to new beginnings for all of us, right here in Oregon.